The effect of China's ban on Micron and the growing technological war. The technological war between China and the United States has intensified, with China's ban on Micron's entry into the Chinese market being just one example of this ongoing conflict. We will explore the impacts of China's ban on Micron and the growing technological war between China and the United States on the semiconductor industry and other countries and companies. The United States and other countries have a history of restricting the export of high-end semiconductor equipment to China. China's security review of Micron led to the ban of Micron products in key information infrastructure. Micron is one of the leading memory chip companies in the world and the only one left in the United States in this field. Due to the stalemate in China-US relations and its lobbying against Chinese companies, Micron's revenue in the Chinese market has decreased. Micron did not pass China's security review, which has implications for other countries and companies. Micron's ban in China has had a huge impact on the company's revenue, as the Chinese market was a significant source of revenue for Micron. As you mentioned, in 2018, Micron generated 58% of its total revenue from the Chinese market, which amounted to $17357 billion US dollars. However, due to the stalemate in China-US relations and its lobbying against Chinese companies, Micron's revenue in the Chinese market decreased significantly in 2019. The company only managed to generate 11% of its total revenue from China, which amounted to $311 billion US dollars. One of the reasons behind Micron's ban in China was its failure to pass China's security review, which is a necessary measure for China to maintain national security. However, this ban also served as a warning to other countries and companies that want to block China's technological development. By banning Micron, China was sending a message that it will not tolerate any attempts to restrict its access to high-end semiconductor equipment and technologies. Micron's ban in China has also affected its supply chain, as the company has lost access to one of its biggest markets. This has forced the company to look for alternative markets to make up for the lost revenue. The ban has also affected Micron's relationships with its Chinese partners, who are now looking for alternative suppliers to meet their needs. Overall, the impact of the ban on Micron has been significant, and it has highlighted the growing technological war between China and the United States. It has also raised concerns about the future of the semiconductor industry and the role of countries and companies in this rapidly changing environment. The Dutch semiconductor supplier KMWE decided to open a factory in China to avoid restrictions on the export of semiconductor technology. China's ban on Micron products is a signal to fight back against other countries and companies that want to block China's technological development. The U.S.'s decision to impose export controls on China is detrimental to the global semiconductor industry's interests. European suppliers may completely exit the market in 15 years if export controls enable China to seek technological sovereignty. The impact of the growing technological war between China and the United States is not limited to individual companies or countries. It is also affecting the semiconductor industry as a whole. China is the largest semiconductor market in the world, with sales of $180.3 billion last year, accounting for 32.5% of the global market share. The U.S. attempts to exclude China forcibly are disrupting the global supply chain, which is impacting companies and industries around the world. To avoid being choked off from the global supply chain, China is vigorously promoting the independent development of domestically produced chips and increasing the use of domestic suppliers to replace foreign companies. This move could have significant implications for the semiconductor industry, particularly for semiconductor giants like the Netherlands. As China becomes more self-sufficient in chip production, it could reduce its reliance on foreign companies, which could impact the revenue and profitability of companies in the semiconductor industry. Moreover, the growing technological war between China and the United States is also leading to the development of new technologies and products, which could further disrupt the semiconductor industry. For example, the U.S. is investing heavily in the development of new technologies like AI and 5G, which could give it a competitive advantage in the global market. On the other hand, China is also investing heavily in these technologies, which could lead to new products and innovations that could disrupt the semiconductor industry even further. Overall, the impact of the growing technological war between China and the United States on the semiconductor industry is significant, and it is likely to have far-reaching implications for companies and industries around the world. As the industry continues to evolve and adapt to these changes, it will be important for businesses and policymakers to carefully consider their strategies and plans in this rapidly changing environment. The Netherlands has also been impacted by the growing technological war between China and the United States, particularly as it relates to export controls. In January of this year, the Netherlands agreed to join the team imposing export controls on China under pressure from the U.S. However, both the government and businesses in the Netherlands are dissatisfied with the U.S.'s decision, which has resulted in their own policies and plans changing constantly. One of the companies in the Netherlands that has been impacted by the China-U.S. trade war is KMW. Suppliers like KMW are considering investing in Southeast Asia to replace China due to the tense relationship between China and the U.S. The company has expressed concern about the impact of the trade war on its business, particularly as it relates to its operations in China. KMW has also expressed reservations about the U.S.'s decision to impose export controls on China, as it could impact its ability to do business in the Chinese market. The Netherlands has been caught in the middle of the growing technological war between China and the U.S., and it has had to carefully consider its policies and plans in this rapidly changing environment. The country's decision to join the team imposing export controls on China is an indication of its willingness to support the U.S., but it has also expressed concerns about the impact of the trade war on its businesses. As the trade war continues to escalate, it is likely that the Netherlands will continue to face challenges in navigating this complex and rapidly changing environment. The growing technological war between China and the United States has impacted the semiconductor industry in other countries and companies. China's ban on Micron products and its promotion of the independent development of domestically produced chips and domestic suppliers to replace foreign companies are a signal to fight back against other countries and companies that want to block China's technological development. The U.S. attempts to exclude China forcibly are disrupting the global supply chain and may result in European suppliers completely exiting the market. The Netherlands and other countries must carefully consider their policies and plans in this rapidly changing environment. Alright, so that is it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more content. See you guys on the next one.